Hi. Okay.
Where's that car?
Well, this is a wild side project. This is something else. This is going to be a thing. Boy, yeah, where to start? Well, I mean, you saw the outside of the house. We have your living room up here. We have a family room down in here. We have some bedrooms up there. It's weird how this is split out into a split level like this. Um, no basement, no attic. There is a crawl space, but you can't do anything in the crawl space. The thought and motivation behind this project is my parents are downsizing, and we figured that we can move them onto the first floor. Um, and then my wife and I and Miles could commandeer the second floor, and the middle level we split over here. And as long as we built an addition out onto the first floor out back, there would be enough space for everyone to be happy. So I should show you how we're going to do the split, on the inside, because that's going to be half the battle. So yeah, let me show you that.
Why are you doing this, Mikey?
Why am I doing this? Because I'm nuts. No. This is our ticket to owning a house on the West Shore at some point in time. Here we are at a spot where, housing prices are high, mortgage rates are going up. My parents are parked here at a pretty attractive, mortgage rate. We figured we can move in here, we can help them pay off their mortgage a lot faster. At that point, we'll all be free and clear, no mortgage, attached to the property or anything like that. My parents are not so good with taking care of, houses. There's a lot of things that they're good at. Taking care of houses, doing general maintenance is just neither of their fortes. I've learned how to do okay for myself at it, so I figure I can help them take care of this house as they get older, particularly as they get older. During the next stage that, Nicole and I are in, it's going to be really nice to have both my parents right there to help to watch both of our kids and any other kids that we may have. As so long as they have energy and as long as we're not intruding on their privacy too much. It'll be nice for them, to have us here so we can help to watch their cats. And in a couple years, it's going to be really nice to have us here in case they get to a spot that they're not able to take care of themselves as easily. And hopefully, we'll be able to keep helping to, take care of them as they get into their 80s, 90s, or, something like that. That we were all, living under one, roof, and it's a lot easier than traveling somewhere else. To go take care of them or anything like that. And good heavens, nursing homes are getting more expensive every year. That's not getting any cheaper or any more inexpensive.
So a win-win all around, Mikey.
A win-win all around. Yes.
All under one roof.
It's just going to be a lot of work over the next couple months. And once we're through with that, it's going to be amazing. You should video this part too. You never know what kind of things are going to come up on bloopers. All sorts of fun stuff comes up. You can have character people if you just video everything. Oh, look at that. It's got some fun. Okay, this is Iron City beer. This is the stuff that the Pittsburgh dad. That's the one that he always plugs with.
Because you're going to be doing a lot of hard work, Mike.
I'm going to be doing a lot of hard work. It's going to absolutely suck. So this is the first floor. This is where we're going to be moving my parents into. I can see when you look to the right, back up here, this is going to be the living room that we're going to commandeer. If you come up here again,
We're gonna go find the fun stuff.
take a look to the right again. This is going to be a kitchen that we're going to commandeer and a dining room that we commandeer. And above this first floor that we're on right now, there are 3 bedrooms. Those bedrooms are bedrooms that we're going to commandeer as well and that are going to be ours. We'll be upgrading. We live in a 1-bedroom, 800 square foot apartment right now, and it's fun, but small. We need more bedrooms. We're going to be having another kid soon, and we already have one, so it's time. We'll be upgrading to an 1,100 square foot, 3-bedroom living area, and that's a big thing. That's huge. Anyway, this is what you've got going on the first floor. Now, there's not much down here to look at. There's not much. Yeah, you got a laundry area. You've got music area over here, desk area. You have a family room area. Well, what we're going to do, this is a sunroom out back over here. We're going to close part of this sunroom, and maybe we can sneak over there next. But yeah, right now you can't really get out the door back here because it's all jammed up and stuff. We have cleared things out of half of it. We're going to enclose part of this sunroom, and we're going to build out onto the other half of the sunroom and make a bigger space. And I'll show you what we're going to do out back by walking around.
Yes.
Hi.
Oh, you see that wall up there? You see that wall at the very end of the driveway? How it's got that, busted out kind of stuff? My first girlfriend did that.
Uh-oh.
And then she cheated on me.
Oh.
So now I like to throw her under the bus every time that I can. That's what happens. Good riddance to keep your back facing driveway still in North Carolina. Don't cross paths with me again. Okay. This is good. This is kind of tasty. It has a little bit of a fruity taste. Little bit of one. I mean, it says premium lager. It says it's family owned. It says it's brewed here. Well, not right here, right here. My parents are Mennonite teetotalers. But this isn't bad. It's definitely a lager. Definitely has a premium taste. Like, there's more to this than like your typical lager. This isn't bad. This isn't bad. Kind of like it. Okay. So here we are. I can see this is the sunroom that we were looking at inside earlier on. What we're going to do, I'm going to kind of walk this because that's the best way of doing it. We're going to start over probably this end of the house right here, right about where it hits the brick wall, a little bit past the doorway right now. We're going to come out to right about here, and then from this point, we're going to continue building a new foundation about 8 feet out. About to here or so. We have looked at the zoning map of the property, and our property line goes on the other side of this flower bed, so we're good to go. We have enough clearance to make this work. From about this point right here, we're going to go about 24 feet. Now we're about 12 feet at this corner of the sunroom right here. We're going to go an extra 12 feet after that, about yay far or so. At this point, we're about 12 feet out from the sunroom over on the far side over here, and 8 feet out, from the side that you're on right now. Once we're out those 24 feet, we're going to cut about 20 feet over. Yeah, yes, 20 feet over. 8 and 12 is 20. Going to come right over to about here. This is fun. Supposedly, I measured it out. I don't know, that looks like more than 12 feet, right? Oh well, I'll trust my current judgment. Anyway, we're going to come right about here is a nice spot to put the foundation in. You can see part of the foundation wall here is actually a little bit taller than the foundation wall next to it because you're on a silk plot. So you see here's where the foundation wall comes across, and then here's where it drops about a foot. So this is a nice spot to run our new foundation wall into. So pretty standard, not too bad. This part of the sunroom we're going to leave intact, and we're just going to enclose it. That's going to be a bathroom once we're all said and done. The fun part about this project, this house was built in 1945 when nobody gave a shit about things like building codes and about things like what you can build and what you can't build. So here's what they did. These people put in this house. Yay, great. It was a contractor who used to live here and did a lot of work on this house and helped to build a lot of the house. But at the time, they put a 500-gallon septic tank in. Now that 500-gallon septic tank is right here. It's private septic. It's not connected up to the public. At that point, there was no public sewer anywhere nearby. So they had to put in a private system. But they put in the 500-gallon one. They put it right here. Now that's problematic for two reasons. First of all, it's right over where we want to build our addition. Secondly, in a one-family, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, current code requires your private septic systems to be at least 1,000 gallons. This one's 500 gallons. So it's already under code. Now, don't worry about it. If you don't touch the house, code changes all the time. Nobody's going to come and shank you for that or anything like that. But if you want to add an additional to the house, you want to add more bedrooms and more bathrooms, you got to bring the whole place up to code. So this would never fly. This would never be big enough. Plus, this is right where we want to build our addition anyway. So we could do one of two things. We could either find a place for a 1,500 gallon septic tank and build out a leach field and everything like that, or we could spend substantially less and drop one of these bad boys into the ground. This is a grinder pump. It's a septic system grinder pump. It's made by E1. It's the DH something or the other, model 70 or something like that. These things are apparently the way to go. I've never done anything with one of them before, but everybody that I've talked to in the septic industry swears by them and says if you can afford one, do it. They're mighty awesome machines and they're very cool. So here it is. This thing, we're going to dig a big massive hole in the ground and we're going to drop this thing right on into it. We're going to send sewage water in one of these sides. I don't know. Probably this one. And we're going to run this pipe here out of this one here, out of this red thing. And we're going to dig a trench about 3 feet down because you want to get it down to the frost line. And here where we are in central Pennsylvania, our frost line is about 3 feet deep. We're going to dig a trench way out back there. You see way out the back there, you see those woods. Right before the woods, we're going to hook a right. We're going to go up the hill for a little bit, and we're going to run into public sewer up there. And I know that they were doing some work building the connection in for us, so we might actually have a connection to build into at this point, which would be nice. That's going to be the fun part of this project, though. We're going to have to get this working before we build out the rest of the system, because you don't want to build an addition over an active private sewer. The way that you do this is a concrete tank. So you leave these things in here. These things weigh a shit ton. You don't want to move them. So you pick up your pick up your manhole, pull out a company, they drain it, or they pump it out and they put it into their truck and they take it somewhere else. After you're done with that, you fill the whole thing up with gravel. Once the whole thing is filled up with gravel, then you can build your addition out over it. But if we're going to fill up a septic tank with gravel, this is the place people are living right now. This is the place where my parents are living, and we're trying to be as nice to them as possible through this. So we need to get this working before we can build out the rest of the addition. So that's going to be an interesting order of operations. We only want to run an excavator once, so we're going to probably run an excavator, dig a bunch of trenches, dig the foundation trenches, and after we dig all those trenches, drop this in and then lay the pipe. We need to really quickly get this thing working so we can get the old one pumped and filled in. Because once it's pumped and filled in, we want to put on this foundation here. You don't want to leave your trenches open for too long, or else it's going to rain and then they all wash out and the condition of your trenches deteriorates and stuff like that. And that's going to make it fun because I have a day job and I don't do this for my day job. I have someone else I'm pulling in to help, but he does do this for his day job. He's got day jobs all over the place and he's already pretty busy. So next time you see us, I'm sure probably we'll have a lot of trenches. Maybe we'll have this dropped in, maybe we won't. I don't know. Right now, we're waiting for the township for the building codes to get back to us and finish reviewing the permit. We've cleared zoning. We cleared zoning on Thursday last week. I dropped everything off. I dropped a whole bunch of blueprints and permits I had drawn up on Google Draw. There in Google Drive on that software stuff like that. And I drew the lines and I ran everything out and whoop, and then there it was. It was a nice graph and a diagram. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful. Spent a lot of time on it. I have a feeling I still miss stuff. I don't do this very often, so I'm counting on missing stuff. But that's okay. Building codes will let me know everything that I missed, and I'll get back to them, and we'll get it figured out. But turned everything in about 2 weeks ago. It took them about a week just to do the zoning. And they finally got the zoning done there, I guess, on Friday last week, and then it's been sitting over there all week in the building codes. I haven't heard anything from building codes. They have 15 days to get back to me. I expect to hear something from them next week. They've been pretty backed up right now, apparently. And then we'll go from there. Hopefully, supposedly. And hopefully the next time you guys are around, Hopefully work is actually being done. Hopefully work will be done soon. Hopefully stuff will be happening. You know, stuff wants to happen. Stuff needs to happen. We need to get this done. My wife and I are going to have another baby, and we're going to have to move in here in a couple months, and we can't split it how it is right now. But it's going to be fun. You're going to get to see us run some plumbing. You're going to get to see us tear out our ceiling. You're going to get to see us do electric work. You're going to get to see us pour concrete, maybe even. You're going to get to see us do all sorts of things that we have absolutely no business doing. But that's okay. You know, we're Americans, and this is how Americans do it. They find a project. They say, we own this land. We want to get something done. They figure out how to do it. They get her done. Feels a little bit pretentious to call it the beer drinker's beer. There's a lot of beers that beer drinkers drink. I wouldn't necessarily call it the beer drinker's.
So who's in charge of this reno, Mike?
Oh, I'm absolutely the one in charge. It's terrifying. It's awful. And if I had a lot of money to pay someone else to do this, I will be paying someone else to do this. And if you have a lot of money to pay someone else to be the head honcho and the guy in charge of your project, you absolutely should pay someone else, unless you really know what you're doing, or you really feel adventurous. But if you don't have the money for it, and if you're up for learning how to do something completely new, this is absolutely doable. And there's nothing here that folks like, us haven't, been doing for, hundreds of years. People used to build houses all the time, and it's only very recently that they don't. Although there's a lot more to know about building a house now than there used to be, with all the codes and with all the things you put into them and stuff. But still.
Yeah. What's your estimated budget for this reno?
Estimated budget. Heck. 40?
No more than 40?
Honestly, from what I budgeted out, there's a world that, so as far as costs that I've laid out, the costs I've laid out are actually only coming up to being $25K, which is not that expensive for this kind of a thing. Hello.
Hello, hi, Calvin.
Hi.
Are you still...
No, you want to be in this?
No, you're fine. She is taking the before video.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, this is your house. Do you get it?
No, that's okay.
Alright. You can have some of this beer. I guess that's something.
So under 40.
Hopefully under 40. That would be wonderful if it would. That would be wonderful if it was under 40. Once again, I don't know what I'm doing here. So I budgeted out 25 or 30, and I basically added 10 or 15 onto that. It wouldn't surprise me if it clears 40. Stuff just comes up here that you have absolutely no idea what to watch for, because you didn't know you even had to watch for it. So I'm trying as hard as I possibly can to get a handle on things and to figure out what kind of curveballs are going to be thrown. But just from a lack of experience, I have to figure that this is going to run me more than I'm budgeting out.
And the estimated completion time?
It'll be done when it gets done. I'd very much like this to be done by February of 2023. We're here in July 2022 right now. We'll see. We want to get it close enough and far enough along that my parents can live in the space that we're building. As long as my parents can live in that space, Nicole and I can move in with our 2 kids at that point to the current space that's in there. And then from there, we'll all be under one roof, sharing living expenses, and we'll be able to finish things out easier once we're all in the same location. But so probably we'll probably share a kitchen a little bit while we're doing some finishing work on the kitchen and the addition that we're building out for them. But it's going to be an adventure. It'll be a time. It'll be something. This is going to be very interesting.
Any last thoughts or comments of the before to this project?
Yes, lots of thoughts, many thoughts, all the thoughts. My good friend Eli, who's going to be helping me work on this, told me that it's a lot easier to renovate than it is to build out brand new. if we weren't building onto an existing property, this would be way more work. This isn't too bad because there's already electric run, there's already plumbing run. There's a 200 amp breaker box in there. If we were building this completely new, oh my word, that would be heckin' crazy. I can see why folks are trying to build bigger houses these days. When you build bigger houses, you have more of a margin in them, especially per square foot space. Because folks have, their, dimensional lumber, they can span things out farther. So they can make these bigger rooms, make these bigger houses. You just have one roof and one foundation. So there's profit in building the bigger house, although we're running out of space to build the houses because we took up all the land building big houses, and now there's not enough land for smaller houses around there. So it's an interesting world. I can see why folks would only want to work on the bigger houses like that.
But you're ready. You're ready to tackle it. As soon as you get those permits and zones back, right?
No,
Or zoning, right?
no, I'm not ready at all. But I'm going to do it anyway, because I'm an American and because that's what we do.